It seems like every day now I hear a story about someone switching from iPhone to a Samsung phone. Why are people switching all of a sudden? Is it due to better battery life on Samsung? Is it due to better cameras on Samsung? Well, and today I'm going to discuss this topic and give you guys what I believe is the reason why people are switching from iPhones to Samsungs. Now, one of the reasons why I think people are coming from iPhones to Samsungs is because they are getting bored of the iPhone experience. For example, what can you really say that they've changed in the past 4 years? I know this kind of goes with all smartphones, but because a good majority of the people in the US own iPhones. You see, you probably can't list much. Maybe you can say USB Type-C, but the EU forced them to do that. And I'm not giving them credit for adding USB Type-C to the iPhones because they added it so late and they only really added it in when the EU forced them to. Now you might argue, oh, there's been camera improvements, like they went from 12 megapixels to 50 megapixels, and that's a good thing, but is it really that significant for you to be spending $800 on a brand new iPhone just to get that feature? Yeah, I didn't really think so. And when we see Samsung promoting phones that can fold, this really intrigues people into what the company has to offer, and I noticed that a good majority of people are actually switching to the Z Flip 7 and the Z Fold 7. And that will lead me into my second point. Point number 2. You get it because I'm pointing at number 2? Oh, you're not laughing? Well, anyways, they are upgrading because it looks cool, and I think that plays a big margin because many people, like I said earlier, are coming from phones that they just feel are boring. And I totally get where they are coming from. But switching to a folding phone, you are also sacrificing battery life, camera performance. Even though these might not be massive for you, I would still upgrade to a Samsung that has better battery life and better cameras rather than a phone that can just fold. And in fact, you can get an S25 Plus for around the same price or even cheaper than the Z Flip 7. And don't even get me started on the Z Fold 7 prices, like, wow. These are all very good folding phones, but they're just so expensive and you are sacrificing camera performance and battery life, so that's why I don't really recommend it to people. Now my third point is that they're advertising it better now. For example, back then, no one really knew what a Samsung Galaxy S10 was, but now many people are familiar with S25 Ultra, but they weren't familiar like 6 years ago with the S10 series. Now the fourth reason, social media has improved on these devices. Before on Android, and still on certain Android models that aren't optimized for social media, the camera quality would just look awful in-app. And there's several videos of people talking about this, and the camera quality just looks pretty bad, despite spending a ton of money on this new smartphone. But thankfully with the newer Samsungs and with some Google Pixels, it has seemed to have gotten much better. Now for my fifth and final reason, features. Now yes, when Apple advertises features, people don't really care, but because this is a new phone that they haven't used, like I said earlier, how people were getting bored of Apple with their iPhones, because this is a new company, they are more interested in the features that this has to offer than with their existing company. For example, the 200 megapixel photos. But because this is an Apple, and this is a new company that they haven't used, this seems more interesting to them than what Apple has to offer. And now on to number 6. Wait, didn't I only say that there was supposed to be 5 points? Why am I saying there's 6 now? Well, I just thought of one on the top of my head, so I'm just gonna spit it. Now the last reason, and this is the last one this time guys, is that this has a completely new design, and this is very interesting to people who are coming from iPhones and are used to just upgrading to a very similar body style. Because the layout is different, this feels like an upgrade to them. It just feels more psychologically satisfying having a different body that still feels premium. That gives them the sense that they feel like they upgraded their device, even though maybe the camera performance is very similar to to their iPhones. And that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Now the phone I would recommend for a lot of people is the S24 Ultra or the S25. I find it to be great phones from Samsung, and I don't find the folding phones to be where it needs to be yet. It is a very interesting concept, but I just feel like it's more of a rich person's thing to buy. It's more of the designer line of phones is what I'm trying to say. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.